Overnight, a shootout over snacks in an Englewood gas station sends one man to the hospital. Chicago police say around midnight, a 40-year-old man went into this Clark station and began eating things without paying. When the security guard on duty told him to pay, that man pulled out a gun instead. The security guard then drew his own gun and fired, hitting the man in the stomach. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Now listen, how many of y'all watch The Wire? There's a scene in The Wire where, drug kingpin by the name of Marlowe goes into a corner store and he starts eating food, candy. And the security guard comes over him and says, "Look, brother, man, I only make, $7 an hour doing this job, and you're going to come here and eat this stuff in my face, man? I got to say something to you, brother." And Marlowe looked at him, walked out the store, and then in the later scene, it's revealed that he had that security guard killed by one of his hitmen just for saying something to him. And that was fiction, and that was 10, 15 years ago. 15 years ago. But now we're in the real world where it's not a drug kingpin, it's just a rando. And I did security for years, man. I this mall security. I was Black Paul Blart, man. Mall security. And I seen some things. Nothing like this, but I seen things. I seen things close to this. This is the entitlement that you get, where the brother, you can't say nothing to the two brothers nowadays, man. You can't say nothing to them, man. And if you just get cussed out or you just get a gun pulled on you, you won. That's a victory. Getting threatened, getting cussed out, "I'll be back," and all that. "Better not be here when I get back." All this, you win. Brother, don't come back. But you're gonna get at least that. Okay? This is what they've created. This is where we're at.
But we begin with a new view from police showing an arrest that went viral. We're glad you're with us tonight for Local 4 News at 11. It's a case that some saw as a use of excessive force.
Taylor police used a taser and pepper spray on a man who refused to get out of his car. Well, tonight police released body cam video, and the chief says it shows his officers were patient before things got physical. Sean Lay is live to walk us through that video. Sean, good evening.
Okay, Kimberly, good evening to you. This was a tense 6-minute standoff between Taylor police and this driver who was seen going after a woman. Police giving the man 60 commands before they say they had to use force. Taylor police body camera video showing officers using a taser and pepper spray on a 31-year-old driver. Why were officers there with him in the first place? This woman, minutes before, made a frantic call to 911.
All right, miss, I need you to calm down and try to breathe so we can get through this.
She told police it was road rage.
He jumped right here on the hood of the car.
So this white woman is being attacked by a black man in this country, this racist country, and they give you 60 commands and you don't respond to any of them, and then you resist when they come to grab you out of the car, and you've been arrested a bunch of times. It's not like this your first encounter with law enforcement. This is a guy who's been, I bet when they pull up his record, he got a lengthy criminal record. He's been arrested plenty of times. He just don't want to be arrested this time. And this country is supposed to be racist. This country's supposed to be a racist place where if you do it to a black woman, you do it to a white woman, you can't do nothing to a white woman in this country. It'd be tripping out when they say stuff like that. But you allegedly not be able to do nothing to a white woman because it'd be severe, dire consequences if you do something to a white woman. This guy just broad daylight, actively pursuing and attacking this woman broad daylight, middle of the street. Does it look like you can't do nothing to a white woman because that's been the law?
Why were officers there with him in the first place? This woman, minutes before, made a frantic call to 911.
All right, miss, I need you to calm down and try to breathe so we can get through this.
She told police it was road rage.
He jumped right here on the hood of the car.
When officers got to that driver is asked 49 times over a span of almost 6 minutes to get out of his car. He refused.
49 times over a span of 6 minutes. And this is the George Floyd body cam. This is the Rayshard Brooks, definitely Rayshard Brooks body cam. This is the Jacob Blake body cam. I implore you guys to watch those body cams in totality if you can get through it. The cops that are deemed the racist ones in these viral videos are the nicest cops you'd ever want to meet. And take it from a guy who has committed crimes and has been arrested and has been to jail and has been around guys and has had interactions with cops. Every one of these viral videos, they're actually the nicest cops you ever want to meet. Those are the ones that are losing their jobs. Those are the ones. Because these situations, you get with a cop, these situations be over quick. They're not going to ask you 49 times. They're going to ask you one, grab you up out that car, put you in handcuffs, it's going to be over. But when the patient cops, the nice cops, ask and people start surrounding, hey man, leave him alone, man, and they're filming, don't kill him, man, don't kill him, even before you've even laid hands on the person. And then the criminal builds up, because these are criminals. These are psychopaths a lot of times. Or just, thugs a lot of times. So once they see, I got a sweet cop, they get braver and braver, and they start thinking, I can get out of this situation by running, fleeing, because this is the streets. A lot of people don't understand it. Running away, assaulting the cop and getting away is the thing. They know that once this cop run their information, they probably got a warrant. Or they probably know that whatever they're being accused of, they're going to go to jail, or something in the car, or if they search the car, they're going to find something. So when you're in this situation that these guys in, or Rayshard Brooks, or George Floyd, or Jacob Blake, or any other ones that went viral, and the cop is super nice and sweet, you're thinking, I can get away, I can get out of this. All I got to do is, step on the gas, or if I get a second, or like Dante Wright, or he ain't put the cuffs on yet, he's still sitting there talking to me. All right, I'm about to hop back in the car. And then the lady pull out the gun instead of the taser and shout him. But you're going to try something. A hardened criminal, somebody from the street, someone that's committing crime, someone that's catch me if you can. Like, they ain't afraid of you. They ain't worried about tomorrow. They just trying to get away right now. These are the type of people you're dealing with. And when the cops are really nice and they're asking 49 times, for like George Floyd, they got you in the back of the car. And then you fight your way out of the car. And it's for y'all, or y'all being too nice. The type of cops that don't get called racist and don't go on viral videos, these things are over quick. These fools is grabbed up, they in cuffs, they in the back of the squad car, and they driving to the station. And it ain't no crowd videotaping it. It ain't no racial thing. It's over. And they down at the station getting processed or getting interviewed by detectives or whatever, or being thrown in the cell and the cops are back on the street patrolling. I feel bad that it's that way, that the majority of the cops that are deemed as racist are actually the nice ones.
When officers got to that driver is asked 49 times over a span of almost 6 minutes to get out of his car. He refused.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere.
Taylor's Police Chief John Blair says his officers have no idea if there's a gun in the car, and the standoff only gets more tense by the second.
Quit reaching. I'm not reaching for anything. I don't have any weapons. You are reaching. Turn your camera on. You are reaching. Turn your camera on.
A witness did turn her camera on, put the video on Facebook, many viewing this as excessive force.
No use of force ever looks great.
So another woman who had no idea what was going on, just happened to be riding down the street seeing something. That's one of my brothers. Probably was a sister. That's one of my brothers. Amanda, Black Power. Leave him alone. I'm going to put this on Facebook and show how they be doing our brothers wrong. Not knowing that this guy was just jumping on the hood of a woman's car over a road rage incident. He was jumping on the woman's hood, up and down on the woman's hood. A woman in broad daylight in the middle of the street. Do you think he cared about his freedom? Do you think he was concerned about his well-being and his oppression and slavery and institutions and all that stuff, as this sister who videotaped this part of it and put it on Facebook, probably with a caption of, they doing it to us again. We's always getting the bad end of the stick, y'all. He didn't care enough to not openly menace and harass a woman in broad daylight in the middle of the street and jump on the hood of her car. He didn't care enough not to do that. But this sister, she woke and our black men is so oppressed, and get a job.
A witness did turn her camera on, put the video on Facebook, many viewing this as excessive force.
No use of force ever looks great.
I'm not safe.
So when is the call made to use force? When someone like this driver says he doesn't feel safe and will not cooperate?
We're trying to train our officers to have patience, to understand that there are some people, especially from the minority community, that maybe are very intimidated with the police, have not either had personal experience with them, or the things that they've heard is that we're dangerous. So we are trying to teach our officers to be patient. Police officers die this way. You can only wait so long.
That 31-year-old driver's mom reached out to me tonight saying she does not think that her son deserved what happened to him. She has gotten an attorney.
So his mom, this grown man's mom, has gotten an attorney, and she's going to sue the police department. They asked this brother 60 times, get out of the car. When only one, is all they need to ask you once, get out of the car. You're here, that woman's there, her whole hood of her car is dented up, there was a frantic 911 call, now we're here. We're looking at her car. We're looking at you. Can you please step out of the car and talk to us? It's reasonable. Now they're going to sue the police department. His mommy about to sue the police department. Black people don't trust. They don't have many shit. They know the police. They've been this whole thing of you endanger the safest place in the black community is in police custody or in the presence of police. When police ain't around, you liable, anything liable to happen to you. You're the safest when the police are around. nowhere safer. You know how many brothers you see in their 50s and 60s and 40s that did 20-something years in jail would have been dead in their early 20s if they didn't go do a bid?
That 31-year-old driver's mom reached out to me tonight saying she does not think that her son deserved what happened to him. She has gotten an attorney. Chief Blair says the driver, in his opinion, was a danger to himself, the woman, and to others on the road, and they had to act. Kimberly?
Sean, it's Devin. We've seen so many cases of road rage of late. Is that how they're characterizing this then?
Well, the woman called 911 saying it was road rage, and then she later said she made it up. Stealing, she says, $200 from the driver during what police are calling a drug deal that went bad. That driver went after her then. So,
wow. So the woman made it up. The woman made it up. It was actually a drug deal that went bad. Because I don't watch these things a lot of times before I go live. I like for it to be raw. So the woman made it up. It was she stole $200. She ran off on the brother. She took his drugs and ran off. Wow. Wow. That is I don't know what to call it. That's a hell of a plot twist. Do I feel sorry for this brother? Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I sure do. He out here doing this thing. She's a customer. He's dealing with a customer. And she ran off with his stuff. I feel sorry for this brother. I feel very sorry for this brother. I side with this brother in this situation. He's slanging. He out here doing this thing. She's a customer. She's an addict. Or it's probably heroin or crack. I wouldn't. Weed. No, you probably wouldn't have this type of incident with that woman and that brother with that Rottweiler in the back seat of his car and just being a brother. You know how brothers is. That woman wouldn't have ran off over some weed. This is some heroin or some coke. So this guy, I feel bad for the brother that this woman stole his stuff and she made up this erroneous, she lied to the cops. And I don't think this has anything to do with him being black. Because I know the dead white women, that's what happened to Emmett Till. I know Emmett Till. White women been doing this for centuries, getting all men lynched. I ain't even going there with it. This is about, she stole his drugs. He tracked her down. And she called 911. All right? He stole her. She stole his drugs. He tracked her down. She called 911. That's what this is about. 911 came, and he was like, nah. He probably got guns and drugs in the car. Other drugs in the car. He know if they search his person, he probably had drugs on him. He was trying to get him out. That's why he's stalling. So now I feel bad for this brother. However, selling drugs is illegal. Okay? And resisting arrest, not even arrest, just being uncooperative with cops. They do get to, on a scene like that, they do get to ask you questions. You don't get to ride off. Sometimes I wonder what brothers think gonna happen next, and they know what's gonna happen. Like, it's an escalation. He speeds off. He gets away from these cops, right? Then comes the helicopters. Then comes additional units. There's a bolo. Be on the lookout for this vehicle. Then they already ran your plates because you've been stopped, so they've already ran your plates. Then there's the address of the car. They're going to send somebody to the address that the car's registered to. The name. Then there'll be a warrant put out on the person who the car is addressed to. Yada yada yada. then there will be the U.S. Marshals or felon apprehension unit or whatever. It's not like over. Like this whole notion that like if you get away from them, then it's just over. Home free. Nah. They're gonna have helicopters up there circling. They may have if he flees on foot, if he ditches the car, flees on foot, they're gonna have canines out there sniffing around. Because at this point, one thing that brothers got to understand, and I hope that a lot of brothers is watching this channel, because you have to understand that it's just like in the street, where if, let's just say, I step on your shoe, and you say, hey brother, you stepped on my shoe. And I say, oh, my bad. And then you say, you better had you bitch ass nigga. Well, now the situation had nothing to do with the shoe no more. It's about you saying, you better had you bitch ass nigga. That's now whatever we into or whatever tension there is because of that. Like, people don't understand that, like, brothers, when they get with the police, they don't understand that, initially, in your mind, we're here for some erroneous, fake phone call. It's not really the lady's lying or whatnot. But now we're asking you to step out the car so we can speak with you. And you saying you're not getting out the car. So now, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with that now. Forget everything else that happened before. Now we dealing with the fact that we actually step out the car so we can talk to you and you won't step out the car. Now, we pulled you out the car and we're trying to get you in handcuffs and you're fighting with us. So now we're tasing you. Now that's what's happening. Now forget about us asking you out the car. We got you out the car. Now you're fighting with us. Brothers seem to they on the street. Every little thing switches the energy of the interaction. Every little thing. But when it's cops, it's like, man, originally it's the whatever the first thing happened, everything supposed to stay right there. Man, all I did was drink this soda, man. I was gonna pay for it in a minute. Yeah, but when we showed up, you punched the officer in the face and ran. So yeah, you can get on Facebook and say, man, the cops beat me up because I drank a sip of soda. I opened the soda. I was in line. I opened the soda just to get a sip. I was real thirsty. I was going to pay for it, and they beat me up. No. They beat you up because when they came and asked you, when the store owner called them and they came to the scene, you punched the cop and ran. Then they caught you and beat you up. They didn't beat you up because you took a sip of soda and you was about to pay for it. That's not what happened.
That 31-year-old driver's mom reached out to me tonight saying she does not think that her son deserved what happened to him. She has gotten an attorney. Chief Blair says the driver, in his opinion, was a danger to himself, the woman, and to others on the road, and they had to act. Kimberly?
Sean, it's Devin. We've seen so many cases of road rage of late. Is that how they're characterizing this then?
Well, the woman called 911 saying it was road rage, and then she later said she made it up, stealing, she says, $200 from the driver during what police are calling a drug deal that went bad. That driver went after her then. So Wayne County Prosecutor's Office will be weighing charges against the woman and the man.
Got it, Sean.